Wally Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money.
What's their point? We love Wally Sanders.
Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wally Sanders.
We get you home on the weekend to watch football, Wally Sanders.
Go Trojans. Wally Sanders is number 1.
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders.
Money, money, money. Let me have that football. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wally Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wally Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wally Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. At Wily Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wily Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wily Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wily Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wily Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wily Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wally Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Are you a driver trainee looking for a job? Then come to Wally Sanders Truck Line, where we reimburse you for your driver training pay. Thank you so much for bringing Reed State to Wally Sanders Truck Line.
Absolutely. And now that we brought them to you, what do you have to offer them?
I have a lot to offer them. I can offer them 401k. I can give them 4% of their gross pay. I can give them Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can get them home twice a week and every weekend. That's right, twice a week, every weekend. Wily Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Truck Talk with Wally Sanders Truck Line. So excited this morning. I got a lot of great guests. Got Mr. Terrell Leverage from Wally Sanders Truck Line. We got Sips on the square here this morning. Boy, if you ain't never had no wings, you need to go to Sips on the. I call them wings. Some people say wings. I say wings. You know what I'm saying? I just always been like that. What about the football this weekend? Charles Henderson, 28. Carroll High, 18. Goshen Eagles. How about them Eagles? 57-0. Don't think that's right. I really think Calhoun scored, but okay. Pike Lib, 7. Fort Dale Academy, 20. Come on, Pike Lib. Let's get it together. Pike County, 60. Slocum, 0. Luverne fell a little short. It was 28. Highland Home, 52. College schools, Troy was off this weekend, but I want to let everybody know Troy plays Wednesday night. Let's go out and support our Trojans. Let's go out and support them. They're going to be playing Wednesday night. I'm afraid to give the time because I may get a wrong time. Alabama, 47. Texas A&M, 28. Auburn, they was off. There's no way to lose when you're off. There's no way to lose. And how about the loss of Georgia? I know everybody was just ecstatic that Georgia lost. You know, I was, but makes Alabama look a little better. And then my special guest today, the mayor of our great city of Troy, Alabama. I'm excited to have him. I'm excited to have Davis Truck Driving School out of Montgomery, Alabama. We're going to talk about trucking. We're going to talk about being safe. Remember that safety is our first object in whatever we do. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with our first guest, which will be Mr. Terrell Leverett. Wally Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money.
What's their point? We love Wally Sanders.
Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wally Sanders.
We get you home on the weekend to watch football, Wally Sanders.
Go Trojans. Wally Sanders is number 1.
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders.
Money, money, money. Let me have that football. Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wally Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. These guys did.
Are you ready?
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Good morning, Tara. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you?
You know, first of all, I want to thank you because you really wasn't ready for this. But I just could not do a show called Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line and not talk to a man that's been there as many years as you have been there. And how many years is that?
I've been with the truck lines 45 years.
That's a long time.
a
That
long
tells
time.
me that something has been good for you.
It has.
Kind of explain to me what you do out there. I know you work in the financial department of it, but kind of explain what you do.
I work in the accounting side of things, payroll, accounts receivable, accounts payable, taking care of the money affairs that have to be taken care of for the company to stay in business.
That's a good thing. We plan on staying in business. Been there
Yes.
since 1959.
Yes.
That's a long time. And when I see a person that's been somewhere I've been there 33 and you've been there 45 years, that only tells me it's been good for you and your family.
Yes. It has provided me a lot of benefits over the years.
Yes, yes, and that's what I want. That's why I just had to bring you in here. The audience don't know, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. You know, I had to keep asking you this.
Yes, you did.
I had to keep asking. But we thank you for coming. Terrell, most of the time, I see a lot of our drivers, they come in and they have issues with finance and stuff. We have a lot of good people that handle that. But we got a lot of high technology. I know like now on Wednesdays, we already know what our check is.
Yes.
It comes over the e-thing. You helped set up some of that stuff?
We did. We set that up a few years back to where drivers have access to their pay, like you say, on Wednesday, as far as what it'll be. And technology has really changed a lot over the time I've been there.
You know, basic thing I see about that, when you know Wednesday what you're going to make, you know, with trucking, it's a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And if you know Wednesday and you look at it and something has slipped through the cracks, you got 2 days before payday to get it straightened out. Was that kind of in mind when that was set up? Or?
Well, it was to take some of the crunch off of Friday. Like you say, now they have more time to know what their pay is, because used to you didn't know what your pay was until you got your check.
Mm-hmm.
But now you know what's coming, and if there's some kind of errors, you can call and get it straightened out.
But with our equipment, I always talk about us having just if it's in trucking and if it's more than we have it, with our equipment, would I be safe to say if you do your job and punch everything in, it's going to be just fine, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Everything comes off of the drivers getting their information in, and then it just runs through the system. And I mean, there's going to be some errors, but it's going to be a few.
Well, yes, yes. Well, Terrell, thank you for coming, and I told you it wouldn't be long, so I kept my word. Is there anything else you want to say to me before you leave?
Well, no, I appreciate you having me out here. It's Like I said, I've been there a long time. It's a good place to work. And, you know, there's consistency there. It's been there a long time. The management's young. I anticipated being there a long time.
Yes, sir.
So it's provided my livelihood for all these years.
You know, me and Mr. Stephen was talking, Mr. Stephen Sanders, we was talking, and he's just all excited about us just study growing.
Yes.
Just study growing. Pike County is growing. That was one of the reasons I wanted the mayor to come today, just to tell people we're not the only game in town, but there's a lot of other things just coming, and it all intertwines with each other. People have checks, they go to Walmart, they go to Berg Drugs, they go to Sips on the Square. You know, it's just a circle.
Yes.
Right here in Pike County, Alabama.
It's growing.
It's growing, and we're growing with it. Tara, we thank you, and just continue to do the good job you do. And we appreciate you coming this
I
morning.
appreciate you having me.
We're going to go to a commercial break, and next we're going to have Sips on the Square. I don't think he was ready.
Wallace on the truck line. Money, money, money.
Let's get Mike! We love Wally Sanders!
Hey, we got 401k. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wally Sanders!
We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wally Sanders.
Go Trojans! Wally Sanders is number 1!
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders!
Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. Good morning. We're back again with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have Sips on the Square.
Yes.
Good morning to you. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm grateful to be here.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
so good to have you here. You know, I always call in. You always know it's me because I'm the one that says, I want all flats.
Exactly. And in our training session, because of the all flat, so we try to give that good customer service, but you're special to us. So
I love Sips on the Square.
thank you.
Because of the location. Troy has this square in the mirror, and everybody has pitched in to make it just be a nice place to come. They have bands, they read the Bible up there. Anything that you put God in is going to be good. And I
Exactly.
love the little businesses in Troy. I still buy my drugs from Berg Drug. I buy my medicine there. I just love the square. I love the square. Y'all have pizza. Tell us some
We
of the
do,
stuff you have.
yes. So Sips is located downtown Troy, obviously, and we're just so thankful to be downtown. Our it would not be the same if it weren't for being downtown. There's such a good atmosphere there, and there's so many things. It's kind of a destination spot in Troy, which is just an amazing thing to have.
Have downtown.
But Sips, we specialize in brick oven pizza. We have some really good wings. We have sandwiches and salads and things of that nature. We also have craft beer. We have 30 beers on tap, which is a big deal for us. But we have catering to offer. We have numerous different things that.
You know, I've had the catering for the Sanders. We've catered stuff for Avery and different people, and it was always good, and you was always on time.
Thank you.
Trucking deals with time, and it makes me be on time. I love people to be on time. I drove up this morning. I got a school coming, Davis Truck Driving School out of Dothan, and they was out there. And I just like that, people, that when you have something to do, you know, it says 5 o'clock, it means 5 o'clock.
I agree.
You
Time
know,
is precious. Time is something that
and
you
I
don't
call
really
you a
play
lot
around
of
with.
times, and I'm going to sit there and eat, but I call mine in because I'm on a schedule, you know, and I need to eat and I need to keep going. But I don't know, when we talk about our square and I look at towns, I've been all over this world. God's been good to me. I've been all over this world. But Mr. Sanders used to say it to me, ain't nowhere like Pike County. It's nothing like going up on that square, and you can go eat at Sips on the Square, and then you can go across and have ice cream, and
Exactly.
you can buy shoes. You can go to Glow, and It's just so
Right.
nice, and the courthouses. I love the way Troy is set up, and I love all the stuff that's coming to Troy. So we thank you
agree,
for
and-
being in Troy.
And we're continually growing, and that's the good thing about downtown. There are different things that are just coming to downtown to make it even better. So it's a really good place to be.
And you know, when we talk about the square, we talk about jobs too for our college students. I know you hire a lot of them, and
We
you
do.
must be real selective because I've always had great service.
thank you.
And it's good to know that people that are listening and they're thinking about sending their child to Troy State. You know, they may get a job at SIPS. It's there.
Right,
The
exactly.
opportunity is there.
Exactly. We genuinely love our staff and the diversity that the college students bring to us.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's close. You know, it's close to the university.
Yes.
And I'm just proud of it being there. I'm proud of you being there and your husband and you
thank
work
you.
together. When you have a family doing it, sort of like Wireless Sandals Truck Line, it's a family.
Exactly.
So it's going to think family.
Right.
It's going to operate family.
You're a little bit differently invested
A
when
little bit,
it's
yeah,
when it's
when it's the
family and when
family,
it's a
and-
mom and pop.
And I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, it was good to talk to you. I
Yes,
promised
you
you it wouldn't be
too.
long,
Yes,
so
it's
it's not going to
perfect.
be long. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we're going to come back with Troy's mayor. And I am so excited. I've been knowing him a long time, and I'm just ready to talk to the mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Are you a driver trainee looking for a job? Then come to Wiley Sanders Truck Line, where we reimburse you for your driver training pay. Thank you so much for bringing Reed State to Wiley Sanders Truck Line.
Absolutely. And now that we brought them to you, what do you have to offer them?
I have a lot to offer them. I can offer them 401k. I can give them 4% of their gross pay. I can give them Blue Cross Blue Shield. I can get them home twice a week and every weekend. That's right, twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Thank you, sir.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
And we're live again with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line with our mayor. Mayor Reeves, how you doing,
I'm
sir?
great, Jeffrey. I appreciate you having me.
You know, you just heard me and Sips on the Square talking. We was talking about our small community. How many times that you can call the mayor, and in 2 weeks he can give you a date and come talk to you?
Well, I love Troy. I love the Sanders companies, and I appreciate how important they are, not only to the community but to me. And I'm just honored to be here. So and glad to be here.
We're honored to have you. You know, since you've been mayor, we've been growing, and I see you at a lot of public events. I see you there, and you always got a smile, and you can tell that you love Troy and you're from Troy. And I'm not just saying this. I believe in saying what's right. You've just been good for us.
Well,
It's been good for us.
well, Troy's been good to me, and good to my family, and I'm just honored to be able to help out. And if you, that's why I do the job, is because I love the community and love everything that makes up the community. And someone's got to do the job, and it ought to be someone who truly loves it.
I loves the job. That's correct. You know, we talk about Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, and we talk about Troy, and I'm sure, and I'm going to step out on a limb here, but I'm sure when you're talking to different businesses for coming here, you can say, hey, I got a major player in this town. Just here to stay.
You have no idea how instrumental, Sanders, KW, and Mr. Wiley, Mr. Kinney, you know, Stephen and all the way through have been on, you know, for development in this community of all types, whether it's commercial, industrial, retail. It's all huge, and you know what you can do is you can take anybody anywhere out there,
Yes, sir.
and you can say, hey, here's a man who started with one truck and built all of this right here in this community. So it speaks to the community being business friendly, but more than anything, it speaks to the work ethic and the type quality of people that we've got here.
In Troy, Alabama.
Absolutely.
You know, I tell people, I got a school here today, and I go to these schools, and what brought Truck Talk on with Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you can talk about your horse, but if you never show him, and I was standing in class one day, and I said, I wish you guys could come on, because I said, we got 5 plants right there in Troy. And everybody just looked at me. And I would not stop, and I scheduled it, and I brought them down, and Mr. Sanders has just whatever we need to put us out there and to show people that we are in this community to stay. He said, go with it. As long as it's decent and order, he said, go with it. We bought schools down, and they looked, and you could see the looks on their face. They like.
Well, listen, and that's what, you know, when you talk about, you know, miles, when you talk about getting home, when you talk about those things, you know, the thing that was so genius about this entire operation is, you know, we're in obviously Alabama produces more than it consumes. And when you're able to lean on all of our sister companies, and what you do is you take products out, and then you bring raw material back in, and you're coming to the same place. It's you know, and it's just incredible. And when I can tell people, you know, that we've got a you know, that we've got a truck line that was built from one man. When I can tell people that we have what was for many years the largest secondary lead smelter in North America. When I can tell people that we have the largest high-density polyethylene and polypropylene recycler in the world. You know, those are amazing things. And you know, I mean, you know how humble Mr. Wiley was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you know,
but
I mean, you know, the Sanders family are very humble about what they've accomplished. But it's very easy for me to talk about it to other people, and there wouldn't, all the new stuff that people want to talk about and be excited about, there wouldn't be anything new if there hadn't have been that foundation that Sanders KW laid.
You know, you talk about that, and Derek Thompson gave me this, and it says True Snap. I'm going to show it out. Yep. We actually make this. We make that top. Yes. And you talking about using a tool. I don't go to a class without this. First thing I do, I say, go pick up a paint can and look at that.
That's right.
People want to know that, especially young people, that you're there to stay. They're going to get paid, and 6 months later, they're not hunting another job. And when I say that, and then I say 1959, and my favorite line, I've used it over and over, and I continue to use it. I'm 58 years old. The only job I've ever had. I've had some adventures on my own, but I've never left Sanders, and it's been just that good to me. And now, I've got to ask you this question, don't I can't go home. My wife want to know if we getting a TJ Maxx.
We are getting a TJ Maxx. Yes.
Okay.
And
she said, when you get the mayor up there, I want you to ask him that. She does all my writing for me, so I had to ask you.
Right, and a Hobby Lobby. And
Hobby Lobby.
There'll be a large new retail development that'll be going in across from the hospital. And so I know a lot of people are excited about that. And we you know, we work on things like that every day, and it's exciting. And when you can go out and say, you know, to people like, whether it's Kimber, which is a sole, you know, which has one owner, so they were very drawn to the fact that, you know, one owner had built, you know, a trucking company like they had in the way that they had. Or you can go out, and we'd have never gotten Lockheed Martin and a lot of the other things we didn't if it weren't for the Sanders companies and the proof and the work ethic and the business community that we are. And so from a Fortune 500 company to a sole proprietorship and partnerships, we can show everything in Troy. and again, the foundation for all that was laid by Mr. Sanders.
You know, I think back, and I hate to think back at it, but I remember at the funeral, and Mr. Severe stood up, and he could remember when Mr. Wiley came in and told him, I want to start a business. And I know that you know that story because your dad and Mr. Sanders was real good friends. And I can imagine when you're in a meeting, that's like when I'm in a class, my home run hitter is home twice a week and every weekend. That's my home run hitter. That's right. I'm stuck right there because I want you to ask me, how can you do that? Because there's not many trucking companies can do that. So I'm sure when you're talking to these developers, you can say, oh, it can be done here.
Absolutely.
It can be done here, right here.
And you know, and Sanders Halls, you know, for HB&G, you know, for Golden Boy, for Cox, for all these, you know, they're able to take advantage of those transportation rates here. So that's another way that Sanders helps the community grow. And you know, I can tell you this. You know, Mr. Wiley, Mr. Kenny gave me a job when I was 16 years old, and I certainly wouldn't be sitting here or done any of the things that I've done had it not been, you know, for all that the Sanders family and the Campbell family and all of them have done for me.
You know, I was asked a question when we developed Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders, and you know, the first couple of weeks it took me a little while to get to schools, and I was getting people from Sanders, and they said, what are you going to do when it runs out? I say, it's not.
We can go on and on. That's right.
I could go on and on and on and on because of the fact of what we did in this town and the family stories and the mamas of I've got generations. I ain't even got to that yet. I got guys that drove. Now they son drives. I've even got down to the grandchildren.
That's right.
We've got all that, and I say that when I go to a school, Mayor. I tell people, I just don't think you can compare to what I've got going on with one family.
That's right, and it's not only the history and the past, but the future is so bright.
Yeah,
I mean, and you know, and I know that you know, everybody's so excited about Stephen and his vision and all those things, and so you know, there's a lot of people that can talk about the past, and we have a great past, and we're proud of it, but we've got an even brighter future.
Oh yeah, we're moving on up, and you know, and when you talk to him, to hear him say, you know, we just got to keep going, that makes you feel good, you know, and I say this from my heart. I can look a guy in a class, and I can tell him, you can move the Troy if you want to. I feel that strong. A man with 2 kids, and I wouldn't dare tell him that if I thought it was shaky, because God's looking at me. He's listening at me. I'm serious. I can actually tell that guy, come to Troy. You know, that's why I'm so excited about this TJ and Maxx. Probably going to save me a little money. My wife goes, probably going to save me a little money. But you can have these things. We got everything here, but the one thing we have is family.
That's right.
Everybody loves one. Everybody knows. You know, you can go to the fair, or you can go uptown, and you're gonna see somebody you know, and you sit there and talk, and it's just it's a great place to be. I've been blessed. When I say I've been all over this world, I've been all over this world, but I still have that itching for Pike County, and I know you have too.
Well, and we've been so fortunate, and you had Lindsay here and talking about the square, and you know, and things have. We haven't left any part of the community behind. We've been working really hard to make sure that, you know, not only does the highway, you know, grow and prosper, but the square, you know, the north side of town with the distillery coming in, we're trying to make sure that all parts of the community grow, and you know, that's very important, you know, to all of us, and we've got some people that are working real hard, and you know, and that it's been amazing to see how the square has revitalized, and you know, we're really proud of that. None of that would have happened had it not been for you know, the foundation and just the people. And I think that the people that have worked so hard and are, you know, are dedicated, and it's like a big family. And
you know, you was already my mayor, but I guess when you really just touched my heart was we was in Berg Drug Store one day, and they was reading the Bible, and you was looking at your watch, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna ask them, will they let me read next? Cause I've got a couple of meetings I got to go to. And you said, I'm not gonna dare not read. And you know, and I thought that was just, I was like, wow, he don't have to do this, but you felt it in your heart, you had to do it. And you were just looking at your watch. You said, if they'll let me go next, I can, you know, you had a window in there, and you wanted to use it to do something good.
Well, and I remember, I also remember one day you walked up on the square, and I was talking to a leadership group that had come down from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I was talking about the Sanders Company.
Yeah.
And you know, and all that they meant to the community. So it's a you know, it's a story that I know well because of my my personal and family involvement in the companies. And you know, I've just been, like I said, I've been so blessed. I would have never been able to do the things I've done had it not been for the opportunities that they gave me. And you know, I have learned so much.
You know, you speaking of Golden Boy, and we're going to have the president of Golden Boy on our show. And I want you to know this, because I know you know a lot of people, but anybody that's doing something positive just for the growth of this town, that is what Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders is all about. It's not just about us.
That's right.
It's about this community, and you've seen the flyers and what this community is doing. I'm so excited. Next week I got Miss Judy from the bank. She's something like 80 years old, and she gets around that bank.
That's right.
And when we do a commercial, she's like, come here. Let me tell you something. You do so that he was getting on me about that dog. And that's what our community is like. And I'm just excited to talk to her. And just, you know, when people see that, young people are our future. I say that all the time. And when they see us growing and building a foundation, it makes them do it. My little old church has got about 20 members in it. I love it. And I instill in my son, when something happened to me, you don't have to be a member, but you look out for Mount Hilliard. And that's kind of how Mr. Wiley was. Take care of Troy. Take care of Troy. We bought out, we still do, we buy our supplies here. And that makes it work. That makes it work.
Well, he had a, you know, he told me a long time ago that, you know, he really, you know, he had a burning desire to run trucks, and he loved this community. And I mean, it's amazing what he did, you know, for trucking, for the business community, for so many people. I mean, it could fill volumes of books. And I mean, just you know, that foundation and all that the Sanders family has meant to this community. You know, it just can't be quantified.
Yeah.
It just.
Well, Mayor, I know you got a city to run, but I want to tell you, you do a great job. It's always good to talk to you. You always got a warm atmosphere about you. We just want you to keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I got a lot of help. And,
yeah.
I appreciate you know, all the support that I have from the community, and really appreciate it.
You know, I don't want to tell my age, but I remember back when you was talking about running, and you was, you know, you was just kind of waiting, and you said, Jeffrey, I think this is what I want to do. You say, I'm committed to this community, and you had ideas, and you was ready, and you know, you just didn't throw your name in the ballot. We knew you was running before time came. You started early, not so much to say, I'm going to run. What do you think if I run? You wanted to know what's the community behind you. And I watched it be set up, and I thought that was a nice way to do that. And that's why it's been so successful. People kind of, you know, we had Maryland for how long was it?
Almost, well, with his time on the commission, 30 years total.
So we kind of knew who our next mayor was going to be, because you had been on the city. We kind of, Troy I liked it. That we already knew it was just a time you know, when Maryland did retire, and you stepped into some big shoes, but you walked well in them. You walked well in them, and I know they was big, because he had did a lot, and you had the same vision of not stopping, just keep going up. Just keep going up.
This is my 24th year in elected office in Troy, so into this term it'll basically be half my life, and you know, and I've had the privilege of working with the Sanders companies for June was 30 years. And so I'm just so grateful for this community and for Mr. Wiley and his family and all that everybody's done for me.
And I know it makes you feel good when you're sitting at a meeting and like, well, I'm just going to reinvent it again, that you can say, come to Troy, we'll
That's
take
right.
care of you.
Just look, the proof's in the pudding.
Proofs in the pudding. When will that TJ Maxx be? I want to make sure I get that question good and answered for my wife.
They have asked me to block off the first week in November for the groundbreaking. So, you know, once they break ground, then they'll have to build it. But it should, we should have the groundbreaking in just, you know, inside of the next month, I believe.
Well, you feel free to use Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders in any way you need. In any way, we have an hour every Monday from 8:30 to 9:30. Anything you got going on that you need to get out and you may want to talk about it, you feel free. You know that this, you know, all you got to do is give me a call.
And that goes both ways, Jeffrey. If you want me to come and talk about anything in the community.
We're going to come just for the groundbreaking. That's the next time I want you to come, maybe the Monday before or something. I'm looking forward to that. We get some pictures and show some pictures up on the screen. Mayor, we thank you.
Jeffrey. Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after this commercial break, and we're going to have Davis Truck Driving School, and they're right here, right out of Dothan, Alabama.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Money, money, money.
Let's get Wiley! We love Wiley Sanders!
Hey, we got 401k. We got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wiley Sanders!
We get you home on the weekend to watch football. Wiley Sanders.
Go Trojans! Wiley Sanders is #1!
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wiley Sanders!
Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
Are you ready?
At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, we match your 401k up to 4% gross pay. 4%, Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
Do you want a good truck driving job? Do you want to drive for the best? Then drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We have good benefits. We have good home time. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield. We match your 401k up to 4%. You can start in the 401k retirement plan after 30 days of employment. You need to drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. It's time for you to think about you and your family's future. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. $1,000 sign-on bonus? These guys did. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, safety is our first priority. That's right, safety. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we practice safety. Come to Wiley Sanders Truck Lines today. Get a job with a safe company, Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Hey, at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we got Blue Cross, Blue Shield. Hey, we got a dental plan. Most of all, We match your 401k up to 4% gross pay, 4%. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money.
We love Wally Sanders!
Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wally Sanders!
We get you home on the weekend to watch football, Wiley Sanders.
Wally Sanders is number 1!
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders!
Money, money, money. Let me have that football. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, money, money, money.
We love Wally Sanders!
Hey, we got 401k, we got Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Wally Sanders!
We get you home on the weekend to watch football, Wiley Sanders.
Wally Sanders is number 1!
Who is the best truck line that will get you home on the weekend?
Wally Sanders!
Money, money, money. Let me have that football.
Yeah.
Stand by, come in line.
Live back with Truck Talk with Wiley Sanders Truck Line. I love that commercial. I love that commercial to see those kids. Hey, they got your logo on there. You called me last night. Well, tell me something.
What's that?
Davis Truck Driving School. I think I'm correct when I say this. You have a own site where you can take your CDL test, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
the only one in.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We actually have third-party testing as well. So it doesn't matter what state you're from. It could be Texas. We've actually exercised that, too. We had a gentleman come down from Pennsylvania. We had another one from Chicago, Illinois. Had people pull a camper all the way up from Florida to come to our school from Melbourne.
Well, that is
Yeah.
correct.
But you can test out right on our site.
Right on your side.
Yes.
And who's this young man you got with you?
This is my son, another Mike Davis. There's two. Just say Mike Davis, and you got one of us. Okay?
Now, let me tell you why I asked you. The first time I called your school, I had Mike Davis.
Yeah.
I said, I want to speak to Mike. You said, this is Mike. He said, but now I'm the son. And you said,
Yeah.
I just want to talk to somebody that can let me come
Yeah.
down there. You have a lot of students. You turn out pretty fast.
Yes, we do.
Now, if I was a driver out there, and not a driver, but if I was seeking to get my CDL and I wanted to contact you, what would be the things I would need when I contact you? Tell me some of the stuff that I would need to talk to you
All
about.
you would need is a DOT physical, a copy of your valid driver's license, and your social security card. That's it.
And then you could get me enrolled in.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you this. How long would that be?
You're talking 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
4 weeks. It's a 4-week course. We don't require people to have their permit prior to coming. I mean, if you have it, that's all well, fine, and good. But a school is a school, so that's where you come to learn.
So, when you say permit, what is that?
For your Class A CDL permit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you take the guys out on the road.
Yeah, our facility sits on, we've got 40 acres.
Yeah, I know you got a big facility. I've been there.
We got 40 acres, got a half-mile oval racetrack with 10-degree bank turns. We teach different shifting techniques. We're not just the upshifting and downshifting, but floating gears. A lot of people kind of steer away from that, but there are a lot of companies like that. Double clutching. It gives them a great opportunity to get a feel for the truck, because the main goal is not just to achieve your goals, but to be safe doing it. That's
Say
key.
that again. Say that word
the
again.
main goal is to be safe.
I
That's it.
tell trainees when they come to Troy, and they be so nervous about the road test. I said, look, I'm not finna turn you loose by yourself.
Right.
I want to know that you can operate it safely.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next, we'll get the rest of it. But
Yeah.
when I look at the schools, I look at them, and when I get them, we keep up with it. And what you guys, I can honestly say, is been good. A1. I think I've got 2 from you. One, his mother was already working there, and then I got a lady. I hadn't checked on her this week, but I need to see how she's doing. Your school, I noticed your facilities down there. You have classrooms. So what basically goes on in the classroom?
The classroom is all set up. We can do pre-trips inside the classroom now instead of being outside in the yard. For like bad weather, rain, stuff like that. It's still not a lost day. You can do it inside on the huge TV screen. We also teach the basics to get your CDL permit, which would be your air brakes, your general knowledge.
In combination.
Yes, in combinations.
Now, I've heard a lot about this test. I was grandfathered in. Let me say that. Let me say this first. I was grandfathered in. Proud of that too. But I've been hearing there's so many things you got to touch on the truck.
Oh yes.
How many things are those? Because I've been asked that question.
I could be wrong, but I think there's 172 from bumper
Yes.
to bumper.
From bumper to bumper.
Yes.
So when I go to test, I've got to touch all 100 or point to them.
If
What'd
you
you
want to
say?
pass.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Yep.
That's true.
No, all of
So
them
you
are
teach the
very
guys
critical
that.
things, and there's safety issues too. I mean, they're not going to check things that doesn't really matter, like the color of the truck. But,
Yeah.
But from belts to hoses to all the safety.
I keep this truck up here, and a lot of time I go to it and I tell people from there to there is a long way.
Oh yeah.
And it's a lot goes into that.
Oh yeah.
We service our trucks. We have a trailer shop. We got a tire shop. We got an alignment shop, and all that stuff is necessary. I don't know when you have kids, or well, you know you got a son, but you got grandkids, and it's people's lives that are at stake here.
Oh, I know. I know.
And
That's why I try to teach people, because once you learn the basics and the gears and the how to stop, how to start, how to turn, how to button hook, I mean, all that kind of stuff. Maneuvering a truck does not make you a truck driver.